I saw.
Yeah, and we'd be like, oh, maybe that would be cool to share with my nephew. And then he was like cursing throughout it, so maybe not.
No, I didn't know that part. I just saw the video on your YouTube that was like relatively new. It was like, oh, Greg did a new interview. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun one.
Yeah, I just want to know a little bit about the game before. Well, I'm probably just going to spoil myself and listen to the interview anyways, because that's always interesting to me when someone more design oriented interviews. Yeah, lol, interviews a game designer.
Yeah, it's so easy to find interviews where they're like, how did you
So
make
where
it?
did you grow up? Yeah,
Yeah.
or just total fluff, and it's just like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not interested in the devs. To a certain extent, maybe, but I'm not always interested in like their fucking life story or like what. Sometimes maybe what influences they have, but it's just like I want to get the nuts and bolts of like their design decisions.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Greg
It's
was in there
very hard.
too, or yourself was in there too. And, he wanted to discuss, like, their influences in terms of, like, hey, what other games did you take inspiration from? Because he was seeing a lot of similarities with other shooters he played. And, like, mm, I guess, my bias is, like, that line of thinking is, like, not as interesting to me.
Yeah, it's more of like a fun trivia, but it's like as weird as it is to say, that makes more sense when it's specifically a developer interview. But most of the times when I'm seeing developer interviews, it's not actually for them as a developer, but for the specific game they worked on. So I'm really more interested in the development and the design aspects behind the game themselves, and not like their general overall design philosophies or influences or anything like that. Basically, I want you to talk more about the design of your game and not like your design sensibilities in general or influences or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. So this is mud now, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
crap.
might sound a little insensitive if the crass way of putting that is I care more. I'm only using you to know more about the game than necessarily you yourself.
Yeah,
That
absolutely. Like, the reason we're here is that you made a game.
yeah. And I want to know what went into making it. That's really what it's about.
Ah. Oh. Alright.
It's like the amount of times I've seen dev interviews where it's like, "What's your favorite movie?" And I'm like, "Man, you have like the Doom Eternal developer, and you're gonna ask him dumbass questions like, what's his favorite
Oh,
fucking movie?"
that's so good.
I don't know how I would answer that question if I was asked it, because I'm like, man, I don't care. I don't even care enough to say which one is my favorite. What is my favorite movie? I don't know.
Citizen Kane is a good one. People say it, like, oh, it was only good for its time, but they're, like, wrong.
Yeah, that line of thinking. See, and I guess this is where an element of like talking to a dev may become more interesting, is whenever it's come a topic like that. Because what I would say to that is the idea that something's only good for its time is like, no, it's like, or that it only made sense back then, or that a certain design decision is archaic. Like people say that about lives. It's like, no, you're stupid. That doesn't make any sense at all. Something
That,
doesn't stop being good just because time passes.
that makes sense when, like, we're reading Paradise Lost and it's, like, a form of English that we don't recognize. Like, that's when
Sure.
it's been too long.
Yeah, when we're
That's...
talking like that's not even related to time though. That's or it's partly, but that's related to language.
yeah.
And sometimes another way of saying something's it was good for the time is like it may just never been that good to begin with, because like I don't know, there are plenty of games that's like I wasn't a big fan of them, or I mean I'm still not a big fan of them now, or
Yeah,
like what's a game people say that with?
Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time.
No.
Right. No, they're supposed awesome.
Yeah, those are both good games even now. People still play the shit out of those games now. Now, sure, there's some games that's like people love a lot, including up until this day, that I'd be like, no, it's not that good. Like right now, I'm having that experience with Blood. It's just like, oh man, I am severely disappointed with Blood. There are definitely some things I like. Like, holy shit, the fire effects are beautiful. I love the fact that the bomb, the TNT, is like a major weapon in your arsenal, and it's so useful and fun to play with. Fuck, I'm dead. Took a while, game, but you finally got me.
Nice. Ah.
Yeah. Woo!
I think Marielle's favorite movie is Christmas Vacation. Well, what's your favorite movie?
Superbad.
Superbad is her favorite movie.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
It's a Wonderful Life.
I've never seen